Hello and welcome to the Story Shed. Hopefully you had a very good Christmas and are now ready for the new year. I'm going to try and get this story up and out before the bells, but let's see if that happens or not. Um, I hope that you got the presents that you wanted and that you had a lovely day. So we're heading into 2022 and hopefully 2022 will be a much better year than 2021 was. I got this lovely jumper, this lovely Christmas jumper. So I'm wearing it for today's story. And I didn't know quite what I would do for a story for today. I wanted to find something for the new year with the new year in it, but I couldn't really find anything. So I've gone into my children's bedtime treasury and I've randomly picked a story, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll like it. And it's called Catswhiskers. And there doesn't seem to be an author, so I'm sorry about that. Whoever wrote it, thank you very much for writing it. And it goes a little bit like this. Catswhiskers was a pajama case cat, and a very fine looking pajama case cat at that. Susie's granny had sewn him together when Susie was only 4 years old. It had taken Susan's granny quite a long time to make Catswhiskers. Every night she'd sat by the fire, carefully cutting and sewing until he was perfect. Catswhiskers' body was made from the finest black velvet. He had beautiful red glass eyes, a bushy tail, and the longest whiskers you've ever seen. That's how he got the name, Catswhiskers. Catswhiskers sat on the end of Susie's bed, looking at all the toys in the bedroom in that slightly snooty way that cats have of looking at things. When Susie was asleep or playing in another room, Catswhiskers and all the toys would talk to each other, but Catswhiskers was bored with talking to the toys. Jenny, the rag doll, was, well, just a rag doll. What could a rag doll possibly have to say that would be of interest to a velvet pajama case cat? Thought Catswhiskers. Then there was Neddy the rocking horse. He was a perfectly pleasant rocking horse as far as rocking horses went, but he only ever seemed to want to talk about how nice and shiny he was, and how he thought he was Susie's favourite toy. Even the alphabet bricks, the jack in the box, and the brightly coloured ball seemed to have nothing to say of interest to Catswhiskers. He sighed and looked at the window, wondering if life was more exciting outside. Now, one day, he decided he'd had enough of life in the bedroom with all the toys, and that he would venture outside to see if he could meet someone more interesting to talk to. So that night, when it was dark and Susie was asleep, he crept carefully to the open bedroom window and jumped out. It was a clear, cold, moonlit night. Catswhiskers shivered a little to find it so cold outside, and he may shiver a little bit more because he was also rather frightened. But he was very excited to be in the outside world too, and he soon forgot about the cold and his fear. He walked along the fence to the end of Susie's garden and jumped down into the garden next door. He no sooner landed when he heard a fierce growl and saw two big black eyes glinting in the moonlight. It was Barker, next door's dog, and he didn't like cats at all. With a loud bark, Barker came rushing towards Catswhiskers. His mouth was open, and Catswhiskers could see his big, sharp teeth. In fact, he thought that he could see all the way down into Barker's stomach. Catswhiskers only just had time to leap back onto the fence as Barker, jaws still snapping, gave chase. Phew, what a narrow escape, gasped Catswhiskers. I didn't realize dogs were so unfriendly. He was wondering where it might be safe to go next when he heard a low, hissing voice behind him. Hey, Velvet Cat, hissed the voice. What do you think you're doing on our patch? Catswhiskers turned round to see the biggest, meaning-looking cat he'd ever set eyes on, and behind him were several more mean-looking cats, all coming slowly towards Catswhiskers with their sharp claws at the ready. Catswhiskers didn't wait a second longer. He simply ran for his life. Now he was very frightened. He was also feeling cold and hungry. He wished that he was still in the warm safety of Susie's bedroom with the other toys. Just as he was thinking that the outside world was a bit too exciting, he heard the sound of a van approaching. It suddenly stopped, its glaring headlights shining straight at him. On the side of the van were the words, "Stray cat catcher." Out of the van stepped a man carrying a big net. Catswhiskers thought he knew just who that net was for and decided that it was definitely time to go. Without thinking about the dangers he might find himself in if he came face to face again with a gang of sharp-clawed cats or fierce barking dogs, he ran back towards Susie's house as fast as his velvet legs could carry him. At last he reached the window and jumped thankfully back inside. Snuggled down again on the warm bed with all his familiar friends around him, Catswhiskers decided that perhaps this was the best life for a pajama case cat after all. And that was the story of Catswhiskers. We hope you enjoyed it. If there are any stories that you'd like to hear or anything you've written yourself, then let us know at thestoryshedblog@gmail.com. That's thestoryshedblog@gmail.com. We'll be putting up some more writing prompts on the blog to help you along to writing your own stories, because we'd love to hear some stories from you out there. Let us know what you think, if you have any ideas for making the Story Shed any better. As I say, the address is thestoryshedblog@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you, and in the meantime, take very good care, and bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.